Record actually between these two in Verona is absolutely even. 7 wins to Verona, 7 wins to Roma, and 10 draws. Although the last time that Verona beat Roma at home was all the way back in 1996. Salvatore Giante and Pierluigi Orlandini got the goals for Verona. A certain Marco Del Vecchio got the goal for Roma. It was 3-0 to Rudy Garcia's side back on the 1st of September. You may remember that match with us live on BT Sport on the opening day of the 9th month of the year. And you may be thinking, why should I remember that? Well, there was a fantastic goal from Miralem Pjanic, 25-yard chip for Roma's second goal, which even now, for me, is still one of the best goals of the season that I've commentated on this campaign. Absolutely fantastic goal from him. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very competitive. And there is plenty at stake as Verona take on Roma in the Sunday lunchtime fixture in Serie A. So away we go then. Roma kicking from left to right in this opening half on a sunny Sunday lunchtime. An hour ahead in Italy, so it's just 12:30 now in Verona. Early touch here for Benatia. Torosidis on that far side. Strootman, who's had a terrific season so far for Roma. Kevin Strootman since joining them from PSV. Roma with victories over Genoa and Livorno in their last 2. Strootman with the touch forward. Here's Gervinho, the former Arsenal man who got the winner against Juventus in the Coppa Italia on Tuesday night. It was a late winner, but it took them through to the semi-finals. Romelu is down. Challenge came in there from Torosidis.
Well, Dave, I didn't think there was too much wrong with it. Good start from Roma. They kept the ball well. Crisp passing. Mentioned Romelu breaks up the play. Torosidis just goes in. Yeah, you can see they're complaining why. Here we see it. Not sure how much of the ball he probably got. Does certainly catch a bit of Romelu. I think he certainly did get the ball first. It ricocheted off him. Not too much wrong with that. Let's get on with the game.
You can see the fact there's not too much wrong with it by the fact we're going to have a drop ball.
Yeah, exactly.
Romelu, the Brazilian who's on loan from Fiorentina. Now you can hear the reaction from the Verona supporters. Touch back from Nainggolan, the former Cagliari man who joined on loan earlier this month, number 44 for Roma. Here he is.
Certainly a very good player as well. Lots of rumours for the last year or two that he was going to end up in Milan. However, Roma got him now. Really adds to the depth of this squad.
Benatia. Maicon. Got a deflection and that almost deceived Raphael in the Verona goal.
A little slip as well, didn't he? The keeper didn't look too safe whatsoever. As it comes to Maicon, he just tries to whip it in first time. It's a deflection, but there you can see. Just a little slip, gathers it well.
There are reports coming out of Italy this morning, incidentally, that Michael Essien may have failed his medical at Milan. So his proposed move from Chelsea may not go through. Keep up to date with that on the BT Sport website, btsport.com. Roma, who have a terrific goal-scoring record away from home this season. They had always scored away from home in Serie A this season before their last away game against Juventus. Benatia. Gervinho. Here's Romelu. Marquez lays it back to Raphael. Chase on here for Gomez. And between them, Maicon and Leandro Castan just did enough. Little touch by Donati. Way through for Iturbe on the far side. 5 goals for Juan Iturbe so far this season, the Argentine under-20 international. Verona with 8 wins and 2 defeats at home this season. They've scored 19 in those 10 home games, whilst conceding 11. Roma away from home this season, 5 wins, 3 draws and just the 1 defeat. Nainggolan, Maicon, Strootman, Rossi, easily gathered by Rafael Marquez. Torosidis tried to get the cross in, couldn't quite do so, and you can see Iturbe there giving a piece of his mind to his colleagues.
Exactly what he thinks, my goodness. And formation-wise, they're both playing 4-3-3, so they're really cancelling each other out, but what they don't want to do, I think, is play too much at the back and get it forward, and Iturbe there wanting his teammates to put it forward as soon as possible.
There is quite a difference, isn't there, between the sunny part of the pitch and the shady part of the pitch, and you just wonder whether that low sunshine might cause 1 or 2 problems.
It may just be far enough out for the keeper not to be that affected, but you're right, certainly centre halves. Certainly worth a test, I think, when you get it out wide to try and put it up in that sky and see what happens.
A touch back from Destro. Ljajic. Gervinho up against Gonzalez. Gervinho couldn't quite get onto the little flick back to him. Nainggolan. Daniele De Rossi. Nainggolan once more. Strootman. Strootman, who actually made his Serie A debut for Roma in the Week 2 victory over Verona at the Olimpico. Hallfredsson couldn't get there. Here's De Rossi. Like Totti, a one-club man throughout his career. Daniele De Rossi. Maicon. Little touch on from Ljajic. Destro! Straight at Rafael.
Certainly was, and he slipped as well, and I don't think Ljajic actually meant to miss that ball, but when he did, straight through to Destro. It really was a good turn. First timer, straight into the keeper's arms, safe enough, but asking a few questions at least. The home side not really got themselves going.
Gathered by Sanctis from Luca Toni. 229 career league goals for Luca Toni. It's just 2 fewer than Francesco Totti. Nainggolan. Torosidis had to stretch there. Well, nice movement. Didn't quite work out for Ljajic in the end.
Thinking about putting his arm up, almost catching the ball, wasn't he? But I think he pulled out just in time. But De Rossi saw the run. Ljajic there, couldn't control that one way too high. Just looking at the Roma, certainly midfield 3, very strong, isn't it? Nainggolan, De Rossi and Strootman. Very disciplined. You can see why they don't concede many goals as well. You put them in front of certainly excellent Castan and Benatia. They're a tough side to get in behind. Yes, they'll run forward as well, but they'll control that midfield.
Not conceding many goals is a little bit of an understatement, really, with just 10 goals conceded Roma in their 20 Serie A matches this season. And across the whole of Europe, in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Bayern Munich have conceded fewer, with 8 goals conceded going into the weekend.
No, but it's impressive. I think 3 of those were at Juventus, weren't they? So in the last 4 games as well, clean sheets. They're strong. They really are strong. And when you think they've sold Marquinhos as well to Paris Saint-Germain in the summer, their excellent young Brazilian centre-half, well, these 2 here are doing really well.
Benatia with, oh dear me, he's given it straight to Gervinho. Case of not really looking where he was going to place it. Gervinho again. Now it's an injury. Referee has certainly shown a yellow card there.
Cacciatore's got to be a little bit careful because there the play was stopped. Clearly there was an injury, so Gervinho's just about to leisurely knock it out. Cacciatore managed to put one on him from behind anyway, which something of a nothing, but even so. Here's the challenge. So certainly Strootman goes down. But it's this one here, Cacciatore and Gervinho. Have to be careful. As a fullback, I do like to kind of make your mark on the opposition player. However,
there's a time and a place.
Exactly. Actually, when the ball is properly in play, but nevertheless.
I thought I saw the referee show a yellow, but maybe not. Well, indeed he did. Romulo. Early caution then for the Brazilian. Strootman with the free kick. Here is Romulo. Not too much really in the way of support. It's easily away by Torosidis.
Well, Totti on the right-hand side again is disgruntled, waving his hand around because, to be honest, he was the only one supporting. Just to pass out to the right was the one. They're not really finding it easy, are they, Verona, to get any sort of rhythm going?
Cacciatore. That little yellow band on the right arm of Verona's players is a little bit disconcerting because it looks like every player is the captain. Long ball forward, looking for Destro. 4 goals in his 6 Serie A appearances so far this season for Leandro Destro. And he's got a corner kick there. Comes off Maicon.
Recovered pretty well, but I'm not sure the original ball was for Destro. Even so, they are finding some gaps in that last third.
One goal every 72 minutes so far this season in Serie A for Destro. Ljajic with the corner. Away by Romulo. Gathered by Nainggolan. Sanctis, who joined Roma last summer after 4 years with Napoli. Gervinho. Really has settled into Serie A superbly well, the former Arsenal man. Rossi. In towards Destro. By Gomez, Hallfredsson. Hallfredsson, the Icelandic international. You may remember him from a loan spell he had at Barnsley back in the 2009-10 season. He also had a couple of years at Tottenham, but you wouldn't remember him from then because he didn't really make any impression in his time at White Hart Lane. Away by Ljajic. Cacciatore. Marquez. Donati.
Having to go backwards, aren't they? That's why Roma really are so disciplined. Quite happy, as you can see here, Nainggolan now pushing out, putting pressure on them as well. Just can't find an easy ball out.
Well, historically, we should expect a goal from both of these sides in this match because in 8 of the last 9 meetings between these clubs, both sides have scored. The exception being the last time they met in September. Roma with a 3-0 victory. Verona, remember, promoted from Serie B last season. doing remarkably well for a team in their first season back in the top division in Italy. Hallfredsson. Little touch forward, Tony couldn't quite return it into the path there of his teammate. Cacciatore. Way by Benatia. Maicon.
Talk me through that one.
That's your job.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm struggling. Who did he see? Clearly someone must have been warming up behind the goal.
I told you the shadow would cause a few problems.
There's the first one.
Andrea Mandorlini, former defender, won Serie A with Inter back in 1989. UEFA Cup a couple of years later. Marquez. Here's Gonzalez, who's been taking lessons from Maicon.
It really is good pressure from Roma, by the way, because they are getting around this Verona side so they get the good possession. They're pushing on high up the pitch. And that's what I said about 4-3-3. It's a matchup, really, so you're right against your one man. There's not a problem with the system, so therefore if you can go nice and tight, some piece of skill is needed for a Verona player to get free, and at the moment they're not finding it.
Cacciatore with the throw. Half away by the defender. Donati puts it long. Cut out by Benatia, who's making his 100th Serie A appearance this Sunday lunchtime. Plenty of Serie A and European action throughout the day, right here on BT. Next, 1:30 today. We will have more action from the top division in Italy. And we see Cagliari take on Milan. That's at 1:30 on BT Sport 2. Donati. Cacciatore. Closed down by Maicon. A bit of afters there as well.
Well, Destro's trying to go for the ball, but he's getting blocked, I suppose, from Cacciatore. He's aiming for the ball. He thinks it's Cacciatore is playing American football. Bit of shirt pulling, bit of all sorts.
6 to 1 half dozen the other, though.
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's just eagerness, I think, as well from Roma. You can tell that, you know, Rudy Garcia's got into the players that when the opportunity is there, push up as a team, go nice and tight, and just don't let them out. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're playing a higher line, winning the ball back comfortably. But from Verona's point of view, in these sort of areas there, Luca Toni has to win the first ball, and Verona can try and then pick up the second one.
Hallfredsson. Tony making the run, as is Gomez. It's away by Benatia. Strootman. Destro. Can't quite hold it up. Gervinho couldn't get there either. Didn't really work out for Maicon in his year at Manchester City. But certainly a winner in Italy. 4 times a Serie A champion in his 6 years with Inter. There he is at the bottom of your picture. De Rossi. It's a very languid style, Daniele De Rossi in midfield.
Comfortable, isn't he? On the ball, confident. You look at all three in that area.
Towards Destro, it's away by Marquez. Turbe couldn't win it. Strootman. He'll touch on towards Gervinho from Destro. Away comes Donati. Tony.
That's what Tony's there for, isn't he? To hold it up. Yeah, Castan with the scissors, just happens to miss the ball. Not to worry. Just wonder as well, Verona, of course, losing their star man, Gervinho, to Napoli. How they're going to carry on, try and fill that gap. It's going to be a difficult one.
Gervinho with 7 goals this season for Verona. Romulo up against Castan, gets the throw. Blocked by Destro. Marquez.
Pretty easy to see why that they keep clean sheets, because I think defenders themselves had a hunger certainly to defend, but when you've got Destro and the likes, strikers defending from the top, stopping crosses coming in, it really is impressive as a team.
Strootman. Ljajic. Strootman with the ball in. Hallfredsson away, only as far as Adam Ljajic.
Chance, here's a chance. Certainly was a poor clearance, wasn't it, from Hallfredsson, but Ljajic there will be disappointed. It's come to him nicely as well. Set up half volley, expect a little bit better, sliced across the ball.
Ljajic, who joined Roma from Fiorentina at the end of the transfer window last August. 3 years in Florence, Viola. Cacciatore with the throw. Maya. It's Marquez, the former Atletico Mineiro player. Too long from Massimo Donati. Won't get there because Maicon does. Wide on this near side is Gervinho. Here he is. Maicon has support from Rossi. Daniele Rossi. Wide to Maicon. By Hallfredsson.
Well, that was a block, wasn't it? You see Maicon there trying to take his men on, does it. Hallfredsson tries to stop him. Unfortunately, the ball's nowhere near. Free kick now, dangerous area. Big men, no doubt, Verona will be up into the box. They deliver a decent ball.
Now, what can Roma work out from this free kick? Adam Ljajic is behind the delivery. Half a dozen in Roma shirts in the Verona penalty area. Ljajic swings it deep. And behind for the corner, Raphael with the punch.
Benatia complaining of some sort of push, but they really defended quite well there, Verona, standing right across the 6-yard box. Look at Tony, the biggest defender, I suppose, in the way.
Ljajic. Maicon. Delicate chip, strong shout though from Raphael. And well taken by the Brazilian goalkeeper, who's been at Verona now since 2007. Hallfredsson. Iturbe. Iturbe got a touch fortunate there. Here's Luca Toni. Cacciatore wanting it and getting it. Iturbe. Cacciatore. And Verona have a corner.
That's better. That is better play. And Cacciatore, I thought he might have been caught offside. The Roma defenders were all appealing in a line. And he, to me, just looks in line. It's important, I think, as well for the fullbacks to try and push forward. They're getting strangled in that midfield area. Where are the spaces that will be out wide? So certainly Cacciatore and Gonzalez, if he can, need to help out.
Not the best of corners, though, it has to be said. Ljajic is fouled by Romulo, who's already been booked in this match, remember. Caution very early on in the game. Fancy a bit of French football later on this afternoon? Why not tune into BT Sport 2? It's Bordeaux against Saint-Etienne. That is live this afternoon. And then this evening, it's the European Football Show with James Richardson, and that features Monaco against Marseille, which is a very big fixture indeed in France. Here, if you have just joined us, as you can see, Verona 0, Roma 0 in the Sunday lunchtime Serie A offering. Torosidis. And in towards Destro. Header was by Marquez and taken by Rafael.
Good defending, wasn't it? Destro there is lonesome. I think maybe one or two more passes out wide. And it's important as well when they do play 4-3-3. If Gervinho does come inside, the fullback then must try and support. I think Maicon does that very naturally on this right-hand side.
Maicon didn't get there, but was he holding? He was indeed. He was holding Juanito Gomez. Now, should this be a yellow card?
Well, if that's what the referee thinks he was holding, it's a foul. Not a lot there, though, is it, for goodness sake? Slight pull, it's not even a grab, is it? And there, Gomez just stops and complains and convinces the referee. A free kick in a dangerous area, soft one.
Well, that's the view Morgan de Sanctis has. See the sunshine not necessarily in his eyes. He's still having to squint a little bit. Now, who's going to take this? Driven into the wall by Iturbe. Romulo keeps it in. Hallfredsson. Play on, says the official. Never will blow, most definitely. Block on Rossi.
Certainly was, and Gomez this time is the one that is the offender. He was a fortunate 1 minutes earlier to get that free kick, but certainly here, see what he's trying to do, just blocks his path. Well, Verona not really getting too much of a head of steam up, are they? Verona certainly comfortably defending wise, but 27 minutes gone, in control of the midfield area without really testing Rafael too much.
I mentioned that Verona hadn't scored in their last 2 matches, losing both of those. They haven't actually failed to score in 3 consecutive games at all so far this season. Destro. Nainggolan. Ljajic. Here's Rossi. Maicon was the target on this near side, but Gomez should clear, just. Toni. Little touch on, but Benatia is there. Benatia, who is the top scoring defender in Serie A this season. 5 goals for him. signed last summer from Udinese. Gervinho making a run on the inside track. Good strong defending from Verona. Away comes Maicon. Followed by Romulo. Iturbe.
Poor, really was poor. And this was excellent defending from Gonzalez when they won the ball back. Finally there was some space to work into, but Iturbe, you don't normally associate with poor passing from him, but that occasion couldn't find Luca Toni. Having trouble, aren't they, finding the big striker up front? I think Benatia and Castan, one can go nice and tight, one can drop off, and making it difficult.
But it is a very interesting match nonetheless. Torosidis. Benatia. Here's De Rossi. Maicon. Castan. Both sides are playing the 4-3-3 formation. Is it as simple as that they're cancelling each other out at the moment?
Yes and no. I think certainly the Roma are having the better of it in midfield, but they're playing very narrow as well. So at times, like here, Maicon's trying to give that width, but he's a fullback. So the top three, I think, of course, you've got Destro up top, Gervinho and Ljajic out the flanks, need to work themselves in a little bit better. Verona, I think, are just getting suffocated out. I mean, the defensive work from Roma is very impressive indeed. Starts from the top, midfield, and the defence obviously are very, very strong. So Verona struggling to get any sort of rhythm. Rudy Garcia will be delighted, I think, with the first half hour. However, now's the time to step it up and really show in that last third what they can do.
Remember when they met earlier this season, back on the opening day of September, Roma won 3-0 with 3 second-half goals. 3 goals coming in a 9-minute spell around the hour mark. Here's De Rossi. And Castan. Benatia, the Moroccan international. Nainggolan. Castan. De Rossi. Looking for Gervinho. Well, Roma getting a little frustrated. De Rossi with just the 1 goal this season. It was a fantastic goal from distance against Livorno on the opening weekend from 25 yards. And having not scored at all the previous season, De Rossi might have been thinking that that was perhaps a sign of things to come this campaign. Unfortunately for him, it hasn't. Been followed up by another goal. Foul by Nainggolan.
It's really a fight for the ball. See who's eager to get it. He tripped over his own player in the end, Hallfredsson, but where's the free kick now? Can they at least use it correctly? It's a short one.
Hallfredsson. Got a slight deflection on the way through towards Gomez, who's hoping for a corner, but isn't getting one.
Hoping, you're exactly right there. Not convincing. No Oscars for him. Until he didn't touch that ball.
Castan. Towards Gervinho, it's too high for him. Away by Marquez. Gervinho now on the chase. Gonzalez looking to get back goal side. Gervinho through to Destro, just over.
Excellent play, really is. I think Gonzalez there, the problem he had was he got backed up into the box, couldn't make a challenge, and then Gervinho found Destro, slid the ball through. Had to take it first time as well, Destro, unfortunately couldn't hit the target, but that's better.
Matteo Destro, who got half a dozen goals in Serie A last season, following his move from Siena. Remember, Roma sold a couple of strikers, both to Premier League clubs at the start of this season. Eric Lamela going to Tottenham. Dani Osvaldo going to Southampton. Neither of those moves have really been a success at all.
Exactly right, and think of the money they got for both of them. Of course, add in Marquinhos or the centre-half, and they pulled in a lot of money. You'd say they're very good players, certainly, but Rudy Garcia's replaced them with the likes of Gervinho, who's been a huge success. Strootman, of course, Benatia, and they look even stronger.
Towards Luca Toni. Can he kick the ball in play? Can, but Benatia was able to nip it away from him. Destro with the challenge. Cacciatore. Marquez. Derbe on that far side. Quickly closed down though by Torosidis. Cacciatore. Hallfredsson. Quickly closed down by Benatia. That's probably the three words that you can apply to virtually every defensive challenge from Roma. Quickly closed down. On by Gomez. Too long. Oh, got a touch off a Roma man. Last of all, it is a corner.
It is, but you're exactly right. Closing down. The pressure is very impressive indeed. Now you see the little clip from Maicon. It was a corner kick.
Hallfredsson has to leave it. Romelu. Last man back is Maeta. Gervinho. We've got a problem here. I think Maeta.
Well, they're saying straight away, aren't they? Get the stretcher on. Yep, that is it. Looks like a thigh. He ruptured his thigh or pulled it straight away. Now that's a blow.
Maicon Maeta, the 31-year-old defender who has spent all his career in the lower leagues in Italy, having failed to make the grade at Juventus early in his career. Let's have a look as he kicks that ball away.
Yeah, that's a ruptured thigh, isn't it? Straight away. That'll teach him to try that 60-yard screamer. Won't be doing that again. That's unfortunate.
So Maeta will have to be replaced then as we approach half-time. Always not a very nice sight at all to see. Somebody taken off on a stretcher. So Marco Donadel, man who's on loan from Napoli, who is going to come on. So Maeta, as I mentioned, having played his football in the lower leagues throughout his career, really is living the dream this season in the top division, but that will keep him out for some time, you would think.
Certainly so. It really is unfortunate. The skipper, their leader, he and the club having a fine season, but he won't be back for a good few weeks. But Donadel, plenty of experience now. He's got to come on, slot straight into that position.
Donadel, who has been with Milan and Fiorentina earlier in his career. It looks like he's going to play on the right-hand side of midfield, perhaps. But maybe Romelu dropping back into the back four. There is Donadel on the top right corner of your picture. Chase on here for Gervinho. And when a defence is reorganised like this in terms of personnel, your opponents are thinking, right, let's test them out straight away.
And that's exactly right. That is disappointing because Verona, yes, they haven't had much position in that midfield area, but defensively they've been doing pretty well as well.
Turbe with a foul on Torosidis. Hand on the shoulder, I think, just there.
That's right, down he goes, Torosidis. It's difficult because the defender's going back absolutely nowhere. Why do you need to give a foul away? You're making it easy for the defender. Unfortunately, that's what Turbe did.
Tony. Donadel with his first touch. Hallfredsson slipped. Still managed to contribute. Romulo just got there. Fought by Gomez. Hallfredsson. Turbe. And he play it on to Cacciatore. Gomez waits for it. Square by Donati. Tony and Gomez are in the middle. Gonzalez with the cross. Here's Romulo. Away by Strootman. Romulo picks it up again, though. Verona get the free kick.
Something combative, isn't he, Romulo? But there you can see, he has the arm on his shoulder. When he feels that, down he goes, and rightly so. And there, that was so important. Interception there. Gervinho otherwise was in.
Kick from Romulo, whistle's gone though. Romulo was the target for the pass, cut out by Castan. Bundesliga action for you this afternoon on BT Sport 1 from 4:15. Live we have Hamburg against Schalke for you. Don't forget you can follow all the action via the BT Sport app and BT Sport.com as well. BTsport.com, I think I meant to say. Missed out the dot, most important. So just over 3 minutes plus stoppage time in the first half of the Sunday lunchtime Serie A fixture. Still awaiting the first goal. Nainggolan. Gervinho just gets away from Tony. Nainggolan. Maicon's just ahead of him. A couple of players have been losing their footing in this first half. Here's Rossi. It'll chip through towards Gervinho. And in the end, put behind by Cacciatore.
Good angled run, isn't it, from Gervinho? You can see Rossi a couple of times earlier in the half. He's been looking for that. Great timing of the run, but good defending as well. He's tracked back. Romulo, good clearance.
As you can see, Roma's third corner of this first half. Well, the goalkeeper came for it, didn't get there. Got his own man, though, Hallfredsson.
He certainly punched something. Not sure it was the ball. And the ball comes in as well. It's not right at the very height of its flight either, which makes it difficult for the keeper.
First choice in goal for Verona, like Morgan de Santis, his opposite number. Both goalkeepers have played in every Serie A match so far this season for their respective clubs.
A little too aggressive, wasn't it, that challenge? Studs up. Nainggolan, he's not happy, but combative midfielder he is. And there the referee deciding that was a little too dangerous. There you can see it. Okay, he didn't get the player, but studs are certainly up.
Referee, as you can see that, right up with action. Hallfredsson. Forward by Rossi. Rossi couldn't keep hold of possession for his side. Donadal. Kept in by Juanito Gomez. Benatia. Nicely done. Play on. Minimum of 3 minutes additional time to be played at the end of this first half then. Here's Gervinho. To get away from Donadal. Gervinho with the ball in field. Ljajic! Ljajic scores against Verona for the second time this season. And Roma make the breakthrough in stoppage time at the end of the first half.
Brilliant, wasn't it? What a run that was from Gervinho. As soon as he picked the ball up in space, Verona had no one there at right fullback. He found that space, he picked it up and just took off. Speed, the confidence that Gervinho is playing with. But even so, still got to do the right thing. Still got to find your man in that box. Exactly what he did. No one was tracking Ljajic. It's a good finish. That would be disappointing. Romelu, you saw him tracing back. He's the one that was out of position. Going back to the skipper going off at centre-half. That was the rejig of the side. Well, he was caught forward, and they paid for it.
Rudi Garcia's side then ahead just before the break. Does that change his half-time team talk? Does it change either manager's half-time team talk?
Well, certainly Paul Neal wants some more urgency in his play defensive-wise. They're doing great, no problems at all, but with that goal, suddenly things are slightly different. We saw Totti and Florenzi, well, they can probably sit there for a little while longer.
Maicon. By Rafael. Benatia. Roma unable to keep possession. Massimo Donati. Going to have a few more seconds added on to the minimum of 3 at the end of this first half because of the goal.
They will do, but why they keep playing Luca Toni into the channel with the ball 5-6 yards ahead of him? My goodness, Castan, also Benatia are lightning. He's not going to get there, so need it to his feet and trying to play off him. He's getting a little frustrated.
36 years old now, Luca Toni. Verona last summer on a 1-year deal from Fiorentina.
Early in the season as well, he scored a couple against Milan, I think it was here, which really was a sign of things to come.
Well, a goal late in this first half from Ljajic has given problems for Andrea Mandorlini there, the Verona coach, because Roma, who are looking to narrow the gap on Juventus at the top of Serie A, are certainly in pole position to do so at the moment. Ljajic with the goal then, just before the break, and Roma leading here in Verona. At the break, it is Verona 0, Roma 1.